So why is the 2DS XL a good value in 2021, you say? Well, first of all, you'll see that it has a game slot right here, and this game slot will not only take normal 3DS cartridge games, but it will also take all 2,000 or so games according to Wikipedia, all 2,000 of the original DS games, or I'd say most of them, most of the 2,000 games available for the original DS, which I did a small video about right here. And yep, that little slot will fit both of them. You don't need a different slot, you don't need an adapter, they'll both fit right there. So right off the back, we're getting some very good gameplay with this little device. But the main reason why I wanted to show off today as well is because they say you can get a lot more value out of your system when it is modded. You see right here I have the Homebrew launcher, I have Luma, a 3DS theme manager, which is what I'm using, how I got this theme right here. Checkpoint, it's for managing your game saves and transferring them. I think I did a video on it too a while ago. And here is some of the fun stuff. So here's Dedulus, the Nintendo 64 emulator, but we'll come back to that. You can install GBA virtual games, and the good thing about that is that this essentially turns into a Game Boy as well. You can add the Game Boy games to here, Super Nintendo, and we have an original DS emulator here. This was done by Rocket Robs. He's a very good developer, and essentially turns your 3DS into a normal DS. So why don't we go in and do that first then. I think I did a video on how to install this onto your 3DS systems. You'll find it in the link below. May take a minute to load sometimes, but that is normal. And we're in. It loads a little intro. Alrighty, so I'm back, and now we have an NDS folder, and here's some of my favorite games. So let's just click on that one, turn the volume up a little bit. Sure you all remember this.
Please come to the castle. I've baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
Alright, but moving on to the next features. Alright, so here, let me zoom in a little bit so I could see better. We could see better already. So that was the DS emulator. Now I'm going to show you guys the Super Nintendo. And the way that I usually test most Super Nintendo emulators is that I end up running this game, Super Mario RPG. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know that it's one of my favorite games ever, or my favorite, or the favorite game ever, excuse me. But because this is one of the games that use the Super Effects chip, I think it's a good way to test the emulator to see how capable it is. They used to say that the effects chip was basically more powerful than the Super Nintendo itself. And we get audio right there as well. You can tap right there on the screen to change different menus, like expand the size of the screen and all save states and all that stuff. Alright, going back. That's the music for the theme, by the way. I had it on mute this whole time. But Game Boy emulator, let's go into this. So here it is loading the games that I have in here. I'm gonna go ahead and just pick Mario Kart Super Circuit. Loads it up here very fast and very nicely. It's picking up where I left off. And you press Y to change the screen size. It's a very nice and big colorful screen. And play your Game Boy Advance games on. Alrighty, let's quit that. Next thing I want to show you guys here's the Dedulus emulator. Now a lot of people don't feel they have very many N64 options, and this is actually a very capable emulator. And the other console that people usually use for N64 playing is a Vita, and even then sometimes it struggles with it, even though it's a more powerful system than this. And some people even still like to use one of these better, PSPs. Obviously it's a 15-year-old device, so that one will struggle, but for it being able to, for the PSP, a 2005 device, to be able to play an emulator from about 8 years ago, from the time it was released, is pretty incredible. Anyways, I went off on a tangent there, but let's go ahead and start a game. Press A. Oh, I picked a good one. Could see the stutter in the name. Now here in the intro, it's playing alright because there's not much going on. But if we skip ahead to the actual gameplay, you'll see that you do get a little bit of choppiness, but not as much as you would on a Vita or a PSP. For those of you that are wondering, this is The Legend of Zelda: The Missing Link. What is The Missing Link, you might ask? It's a mod. It's a mod made by Kazumar. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But he's a great modder in the community, and he has made a lot of different mods for different games, but this actually got taken down by the Big N, and it basically turns Ocarina of Time into a whole nother game. It's a very good game. I haven't finished it, but all I hear is great things about this, so if you have a chance, definitely check it out. Can you guys hear the choppiness in the audio? Get pretty low for frame rates. Now, if you want to turn off the audio, there's a setting right there for it. And as you can see, it kind of speeds up the picture. We turn it on, it slows it down just a little bit. And those are the only two options you have, is audio or frame skip. But that's pretty much the N64 emulator. Right here you close the ROM. Then you can go back and play something else. And not all the games are this laggy. I just picked that one randomly, but you can just pick any other game. Going back to the main menu. Now, I know I went over the Game Boy Advance games earlier, but this is one of the Virtual Console games, and you can essentially put in any Game Boy Advance into a file and put it directly onto the home screen. So that's another really neat way of just jumping into your games. And not only that, as you see, I have a lot of games installed on here. I use this application called FBI to install the files of the game onto my micro SD card. That way I can keep my cartridges nice and safe, and I don't have to carry them around with me. I don't have to do anything. They're sitting at home on my collection, looking very prestige. And I can have all my games on here. So all in all, I think the 2DS XL is a very good system to buy in 2021. It's very light. It can play games from all these systems. It's very durable. It's very fast. And it's a great way to stay in shape. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it if you did like it. Dislike it if you disliked it. Comment for the types of videos you want to see next, and let's make 2021 a great year, and let's try and see how fast we can get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm a little bit over the halfway mark, so let's see if I can let's see how soon I can make it.